إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. I would like to welcome all of you once again, and inshallah ta'ala we continue reading from this book, very important book because of the topic 10 قواعد في تزكية النفس, 10 principles concerning the purification of the soul, of the noble Shaykh al-Dr. Abdul Razzaq al-Badr Hafidahullah Ta'ala. We took, alhamdulillah, this is the 5th session number 5. And in the previous ones, alhamdulillah, we studied together the 8 first of those 10. So we have 2 more to go, inshallah ta'ala, along with the conclusion. Inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to just mention those first 8 principles, inshallah ta'ala, for those who were not with us. So at least to know what we covered so far. These are 10 principles that help us purify our soul. Soul has great importance. Because if the soul is upright and righteous, that's going to, alhamdulillah, make us upright and righteous. But if the soul is corrupted, then we're going to start doing things that are not pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And alhamdulillah, in this beautiful religion of Islam, we have the means and we have the tools that if we take advantage of them and implement them, they will be, idnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, put us on the right track, the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and make us from the righteous servants of Allah, those who are obedient to Him, and those who prefer, or actually they choose good over evil, and choose what's pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over what's pleasing to our souls. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us tawfiq and sadaq so we can be firm upon His path. Ameen. The first principle was about Tawheed. Tawheed is the foundation with which the souls are purified. That highlights the importance of Tawheed, Islamic monotheism. Number 2, the second principle, dua. Making invocation, asking Allah for the purification of the soul. For indeed, invocation, dua, is the key to the purification of the soul. The third principle, the noble Quran, is the source of purification of the hearts. Number 4, taking the Prophet ﷺ as an example and role model. Every aspect of our lives, things we say, we do, decisions we make, how we act, how we worship Allah, should be in accordance to that which the Prophet ﷺ was upon. Because Allah has sent him as a guide, as an example for us. The 5th principle was that purification is true removal and adorning. In Arabic they call it at-tahliya wa at-tahliya. If you want to be good people, then you have to get rid of bad habits. Every one of us is struggling with something here and there. We have to say, look, man, now I'm a Muslim. I wanna make it to the Jannah. And if there is bad habits that we do as it relates to statements, actions, whatever, then we should let them go. Because they're not going to help us. Bad habits are not good. And we should, alhamdulillah, then learn. Along with that, we learn the deen of Allah. We take it from its proper sources, the Book of Allah, Sound Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu, with the understanding of as-Salaf as-Salih, understanding of the companions in the first place. The 6th principle was closing off the paths which take the person away from purification and distance him from virtues and cause him to fall into vile things. That's very important. Sometimes a person, one of us, you know that this is bad, this is not good, but we still fall into it. Why? Because we never get rid of the thing that we're supposed to get rid of. Anything that's supposed to cause you trouble, you should cut it off, cut it loose. Any string that is attached to you and may pull you to the wrong side is easy. Just get a sharp pair of scissors and cut it loose, man. So now you don't have to worry about it. People are pulling the other side, they ain't pulling nothing because you're not attached to it. I know. Number 7 from the principles is the remembrance of death. This is something we covered today. And the meeting with Allah, because if we remember death, nobody wants to die on something bad. And if you remember the hereafter, that after death, Allah will resurrect the people and they're going to stand in front of Allah for accounting. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will display our deeds that we have performed in this life in front of us. And I'm sure none of us want to see bad deeds. So if you don't want to see bad deeds, get rid of them right now. Get rid of them. Change your lifestyle. Some people, they say, I want to, subhanAllah, I want to be good. I want to just like my lifestyle, man, is bad. Change it. Why you have to have that lifestyle? Some people, they say, I really want to be a good person, but my friends, people I'm around, man, they don't help me. Well, that's what we learn in the 8th principle, choosing friends and selecting companions. You got to select. You're not going to pull that as an excuse in front of Yawm al-Qiyamah if Allah says, why you didn't do right? Why? Because my friends. So that's not an excuse. You have to choose the right companions, those who are going to keep you on the path of Allah, going to advise you, you're going to learn from them, and you have halal, if you can say that, fun with them, not the haram fun. People, they disobey Allah, get themselves in big trouble, and they think they're having fun. There ain't no fun that gets you in trouble. That's not fun. Fun is something that, mashallah, is pleasing to Allah. I mean, you can have fun with the right people. You can play some ball with them. You can go places and fish with them or eat with them. If you're married, you spend some quality time with your wife, with your children, with your parents. That's a good fun. But going and getting yourself in trouble with Allah, then there's no fun in that. There's no fun in that, especially in Yawm al-Qiyamah. So choosing the right companions. That was the 8th principle. So now, inshallah ta'ala, if you don't mind, we continue, inshallah ta'ala, by reading the 9th and the 10th principle. القاعدة التاسعة الحذر من العجب والاغترار بالنفس. The Shaykh says, beware of self-amazement and being deluded by oneself. I know, sometimes Shaitan has so many ways and venues to get to the person. This is one of them. Person thinks he's better than everybody just because he can speak some Arabic or just because he achieved some degree here and there. Now you have to humble yourself. Actually, the more you learn about Islam, the more you should humble yourself and make yourself available to teach others and help others. Because our example is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was modest, humble, very easy to talk to be with, subhanallah, it's amazing. قال الله تعالى فلا تزكوا أنفسكم هو أعلم بمن اتقى. So ascribe not purity to yourselves. He knows best him who has taqwa. Allah knows, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Surah Al-Najm. The Shaykh Abdul Razzaq al-Badr ta'ala, he says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prohibited praising oneself with that which indicates its purity and righteousness. You can't go running and say, I'm righteous, man, I'm a good person, I'm this. No. Do what is right and humble yourself. He said, this is because the place of taqwa is the heart. Also because this praise of oneself is a reason for self-amazement to enter into the heart, and riyah is a showing off, which invalidates one's deeds. So once again, alhamdulillah, we should humble ourselves, do what's pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we shouldn't you know, praise ourselves in front of others, or praise ourselves on social medias. I'm so and so, I'm this, I'm that. Humble yourself. Just humble yourself, alhamdulillah. And the actions of the person should speak for himself. You have to say a word. However much the believer strive to do righteous deeds and avoid the impermissible things, he or she will continuously fall short and wrong himself. SubhanAllah. I know this is the true, feeling that the believer has. The more you strive to do good, the more you find that you're not that good of a person, and you want to even be better, and you try to better yourself. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu, who was the best of this ummah, and the best of all the people after the prophets and the messengers. I know, that's his status. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu is the best of the people after the prophets and the messengers alayhi salatu wasalam. When he asked the Prophet ﷺ to teach him a supplication with which to supplicate to Allah with in the prayer, he taught him to say this. You think the Prophet ﷺ said to him, say, I am the best of the people, I am the... No. He told him, say in your prayer, Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi zulman kathira, wa la yaghfiru dhunuba illa ant, faghfir li maghfiratan min indik, warhamni innaka anta al-ghafur ar-rahim. SubhanAllah. This is Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. O Allah, indeed I have wronged myself greatly, and none forgives sins except you. So forgive me with the forgiveness from yourself, and have mercy upon me. Indeed, you are oft forgiving and merciful. We need to memorize this supplication. If this is something that the Prophet ﷺ taught to the best of the people in this ummah, so what can I say about myself? Now you say this. You say, Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi zulman kathira, wa la yaghfiru dhunuba illa ant, faghfir li maghfiratan min indik, warhamni innaka anta al-ghafur ar-rahim. Say this in your sujood. The ulama, they said, if you don't know it in Arabic, you can say it in your mother language. English, French, Chinese, Swahili, doesn't matter where it is. Your language you can say, like those who know English, you can say it in sujood, say, Oh Allah, indeed I have wronged myself greatly, and none forgives sins except you. So forgive me with the forgiveness from yourself, and have mercy upon me. Indeed, you are oft forgiving and merciful. Then the Shaykh said, how about those who are less than Abu Bakr? How about me, for example? I can only speak about myself. We are more in need for this dua, because we do wrong ourselves a lot. Our negligence, things that we're supposed to do, we don't do. Things Allah tells us don't do because they're bad for us, and you find us doing them. Our attitudes towards our parents, our wives, the wives towards our husband, the children. Many things that we do and we don't pay attention to. And we do things that are not good and we don't pay attention to. So these du'as, Allah, come very handy. When the mother of the believers, Aisha radiallahu anha, can somebody tell me why she is the mother of the believers? Why the Shaykh says the mother of the believers, Aisha radiallahu anha? No? She is, no doubt. She is the most beloved now, but that's not the answer now.
I believe she was the first to believe in Prophet Sallallahu
No, that was Khadija. Khadija. And Khadija, she's the mother of the believers too. So is Aisha and Hafsa now.
She was the most knowledgeable from the wise of the deen.
She is knowledgeable, no doubt, but still not the answer now. Hey, لكن لماذا هي أم المؤمنين? Why she is the mother of the believers? Huh? 4 of them? You said something?
I'm just saying, then it says it's 4 of them?
No, there's 9 of them.
9 of them?
Hey. Okay, the wives, all the wives of the Prophet ﷺ are Ummahatul Mu'mineen. They are the mothers of the believers. But why? How they get this title, the mother of the believers?
Well, because they spent time with the Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
No doubt they did spend time, but that's not the answer.
I think they're all connected to a prophet and a messenger somehow.
Of course, they're his wives. Connected to him in like what? By what?
Because she's the daughter.
Like she's the daughter of the prophet Muhammad.
She's the daughter, no, that's his wife. Yes.
His wife.
Hold on. Hold on. Huh? Hold on. Say it again.
I think it's because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is considered the father of Islam.
No. No. No.
Could she have been the most educated and closest to the Prophet?
No doubt, but that's not the answer. Abdul Aziz.
Because they were specifically chose for the Prophet Muhammad.
Is it because she's the daughter of Abu Bakr?
Why they get this title? Who gave them this title?
Allah.
Who says Allah? Yeah, Allah gave it to them. Allah says in the Quran, the wives of the Prophet ﷺ are the mothers of the believers. Allah said that in the Quran. So Aisha is our mother. She's your mother, Ya Abdullah. She's your mother, your mother. All they are the mothers of the believers because Allah said that in the Quran. Okay? So now the Shia, they curse Aisha. So you're going to befriend the Shia who curse your mother? It's amazing how sometimes you find a person who's upon Sunnah, he has a friend, a Shia, in their belief, in their creed, they believe that Aisha is a bad person and they curse her. And he's like, oh, I don't know, that's his belief. But if he says something about his own mother, you want to fight him. Now, this is our mother, Aisha radiallahu anha. We shouldn't like be pleased with what the Shia said about her or her father Abu Bakr. Shia. That's in their aqidah. They believe that Abu Bakr is a kafir, is now Muslim. That's what they believe. And Umar. And all of the Sahaba, all of the company, except for a few. I know. So when the mother of the believers, Aisha radiallahu anha, asked about the statement of Allah, the Exalted, in Surah Al-Mu'minun, verse 60, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْتُونَ مَا آتَوا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ وَجِلَةٌ أَنَّهُمْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ رَاجِعُونَ. And those who give, Allah says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, about certain people. And those who give that, meaning their charity, which they give with their hearts full of fear. They give. It's not easy to give because money, people love their money. People, they love their money, and a lot of people hold on to it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is praising those who they give from what Allah has given them. They give with their hearts full of fear because they are sure to return to their Lord for reckoning. And certainly they're going to find that which they give for the sake of Allah, that's what's going to benefit them. So your wealth, actually, see, everybody's wealth is not what you have in the bank and saving. Your real wealth is what you spend for the sake of Allah. That's what you spend, because that's going to be to help the poor, the needy, the orphans. You build a masjid that is established upon sunnah. You don't want to help the masajid of al-bid'ah. A masjid that is established upon bid'ah and innovation, you don't want to help them. But you want to help a masjid that is established upon Quran, Sunnah, Tawheed, Manhaj al-Salaf. You know some people struggling, you help them out. Somebody struggling with debts, you pay for their debts. And hakada. That's what the money that is yours. But if somebody just saving and saving and saving, okay, you die. Whose money is that now? Huh? If somebody dies, that's not his money anymore. Are they going to bury his millions with him?
No.
Have you ever seen somebody say, wait a minute, don't put the dirt, wow. Bring all these cars, all the luxury. That was his house too, bring it in. Bring that Bentley, bring that Mercedes, bring that Chevy, whatever, Ford Taurus. Oh, these are his jackets, bring them in. All right, Barry, huh?
Some people are doing that nowadays.
Well, those are those people. But even if they do it, is it going to benefit them?
No.
Can they buy something? Nothing. أي نعم بارك الله فيك.
Like in this store to buy.
Huh?
Like it's gonna be a store to buy the stuff.
أحسن. There is no store in the grave to buy stuff. Just like Allah, take it from 7-year-old. 7? 6. All right. No. So, when she mentioned this ayah and she said, are they those who drink alcohol and steal? Because they are afraid and fear. Prophet ﷺ said, لا يا بنت الصديق ولكنهم الذين يصومون ويصلون ويتصدقون وهم يخافون أن لا تقبل منهم سبحان الله. See here the ayah said those who they give charity but they are afraid and their hearts is filled with fear. She said, are they those who drink alcohol, for example? They are afraid because they... Prophet ﷺ says, no, O daughter of a-Siddiq. A-Siddiq is her father, Abu Bakr. Because Aisha, she is the daughter of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. He said, no, rather, they are those who fast. They pray and give charity, yet they are afraid that it will not be accepted from them. These are the people who know Allah. Because they humble themselves. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abdullah bin Abi Mulaika rahimahullah ta'ala said, I met 30 of the companions, each of them fearing hypocrisy for himself. Sahaba. All of them fearing hypocrisy for himself. So we learn from this that we should humble ourselves. Learn and humble. Don't be arrogant. Don't just because you learn a little bit, you think you're better than everybody around you. And no, humble yourself. The more you learn, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاءِ. Those who fear Allah the most from His servants is the scholars. Because the more you know the rights of Allah upon you, and you like, I'm doing nothing to earn all of this. Allah is so merciful to me. Look at, we're not that pious and righteous as we should, but we still benefit of endless bounty, subhanAllah. Look at this. Even non-Muslims, subhanAllah, and they still benefit from the greatness of the mercy of Allah. They still breathe His air. They don't praise Him, they don't worship Him, but Allah still allows them to breathe His air, to drink His water, to live on His earth. Allah give them intellect, mind, vision, hearing, strength, children, money. Because Allah is merciful, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah is in no need for these things in this life. So that's why the believer, the more you learn about Allah and the rights of Allah and how gracious and merciful Allah is, the more you humble yourself. And it's like, man, I know about it. And you work on yourself instead of being pointing fingers to others, because everybody can point fingers. But we should point our fingers ourselves. Aina barakallahu fikum. Al-Hasan al-Basri, this is one of the great scholars of the Tabi'een, he said, the believer combines ihsan, doing good in the best manner, and fear. You combine it. You do, and you still have fear. The hypocrite combines evil and feeling safe from Allah's punishment. SubhanAllah. Look, the believers, they do good, but they still say, I hope that Allah accepts from us. Hypocrite don't do much, and he's like, we're okay. See you in Jannah, all right? See you in paradise, all right? See you where, brother? What are you talking about? What paradise? Paradise, Pennsylvania? There is a little town, Pennsylvania, called Paradise, by the way. So, if somebody is doing no good, and said, we'll see you in paradise, say PA. Because the other paradise will not tell us in the Quran, that's not for everybody. Because Allah says it is for the muttaqoon, for the righteous, for the pious. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then Al-Hasan al-Basri, he recited this ayah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ هُمْ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ رَبِّهِمْ مُشْفِقُونَ. Those who live in awe for fear of their Lord. May Allah make us from those who fear their Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala. So once again, if you want to be a good Muslim, you want to be a righteous servant of Allah, you have to work on this. Don't let the shaitan get you from this door. Close it. Lock it for good. And if the shaitan open it for you, do your best and shut it again. which is self-amazement. Now I'm better than them. I know more Arabic. I know more Quran. I cannot be with this guy. They don't speak Arabic. No, why? Be with them. Prophet ﷺ, most of the people that used to be around him are the poor and the needy and simple people. That was his people around him. And we humble ourselves. We humble ourselves. And if anybody learn from you one word, one thing, Allahu Akbar, that's what's going to help you in the grave, man. You memorize a surah and you teach it to somebody, Allahu Akbar. You learn something, you get a book, you like a book like this, for example, and you have the money, buy 10 of them and give them away. Buy 100 of them, why can't you? You have the money. Especially, it doesn't cost much. It's like $3 or something, or $5. And you buy a number and give them out. You never know. They're from those people, they're going to get a copy, they may read it many times and act upon it, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open their hearts for it. And whenever they do something good, you get the reward as well. You get it. How can I? No, Maria. Yes.
Well, should you give all of them away or just 9 of them?
The books? Do you have 10 now? Do you have them?
Well, for my family, I have a lot.
Do you have 10 books of this?
No.
When you get them, then you ask me.
Probably I do.
Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good thing. If you get, always, you give, but you're going to leave something for you.
I think probably 5.
You give 5, and you keep 5. Who you keep 5 for?
Somebody who needs the book and doesn't have it.
Ahsant. Very good. Allahu Akbar. See, once again, we learn from 6 years old. He said if he has 10 books, he's going to give away 5 and keep 5. I'm assuming that because he was counting with his fingers, maybe my grandfather, grandmother, my father, my mother, and me, we're 5.
I wasn't counting.
You weren't counting?
I wasn't.
What were you doing?
I was just doing this.
I was just doing that.
To give like 5.
Okay, I stand corrected, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. طيب, the 10th and the last of these principles, mashallah, ma'rifatun nafs, knowing the soul. You gotta know yourself. You gotta know who you are, man. It's very important. The Shaykh says from that which is incumbent in the affair of purification of the soul is knowing the reality of this soul and knowing its characteristics so that it is easy to tend to it, care for it, and treat it from the sicknesses that afflicted it. And because souls get sick, man. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the soul within His noble book with 3 well-known characteristics. 3 well-known characteristics. These 3 descriptions are respective to the conditions of the soul. They are, number 1, an-nafsul mutma'innah. The nafs that is content. The soul that is content. And this is the soul that is content with iman, with faith, with the remembrance of Allah, by worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and being devoted to Him in the most excellent manner. See, that's what gives you rest and ease and serenity. Not money, not fame, not status, but rather faith in Allah, tawheed, iman, doing good deeds. That's what's going to bring you ease, serenity, tranquility, peace of mind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَتَطْمَئِنُّ قُلُوبُهُمْ بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبُ. Those who believe and whose hearts find rest in what? In the remembrance of Allah, not in the abundance of money and status. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Amen. Money is good, no doubt, because money can get you things. But money cannot buy you happiness. It just doesn't. It does not. Rather, money could be the source of problems for certain people. Certain people, they want to be good, but then the money keep taking them places that they don't want to be. So they just can't afford to be here and there and do these things. Whereas if they were poor, they cannot do that. So you got to be careful now. You're going to ask Allah for wealth, but you're going to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make that wealth that you're asking for to be good for you, not against you. I know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said, يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي. Surah Al-Fajr. It will be said to the pious, O content soul, come back to your Lord, well pleased and well pleasing unto Him. Enter you then among my honored slaves, and enter you my paradise. Allah, this is the abode of the tranquil and content soul. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us also the second type of the soul, an-nafsul lawwama. An-nafsu al-lawwama. The self-reproaching soul. This is the one which criticizes the person for his errant actions, or for falling short in the obligations, or being negligent in acts of obedience. Sometimes, subhanAllah, you do something bad, and so, you don't wait until somebody comes and say, why you did it? Is there something in you? You're like, subhanAllah, I shouldn't do that. That's not me. This is something that's not good. Nobody talk to you. This is something going through your mind because this nafs you have. Likewise, it was a time for the salat, but you choose to watch a game. But then as you're watching the game and you look, I'm like, subhanAllah, the brothers in the masjid, they prayed. Astaghfirullah. This game is not going to help me. Allah is not going to ask me in Yawm al-Qiyamah if I watch the game, Dolphins or I don't know what. Allah is going to ask me about Salah. And here I am once again for a game. I didn't pray. No, that's not me. I can't do this. This is not good for me. You see? Same thing. You look at haram, you listen to something haram, you did something haram, you drink something haram, anything. And you did. If you have this feeling, I shouldn't have done this, that's a good thing actually. And that falls under this category of soul, and nafsul lawwama. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Qiyamah, وَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالنَّفْسِ اللَّوَّامَةِ. And I swear, and I won't swear by the self-reproaching person. So this is now we have how many types of souls? So far we mentioned 2. Number 1, an-nafsul mutma'inna. In English, the content soul. It's content, ease, tranquility, peace. And that reflects on a person's, the way he talks to others, the way he treats others. It's nice, kind, gentle. In his home, at work, with everybody. He's nice, kind. Even if they wrong him, they don't provoke him. He take it nicely and correct them. Say, it's not good for you the way you talk like this. Listen, man, I can be worse than that, but that's not good. It's not how we should treat each other. And he teach others good manners, good akhlaq. The other nafs is what? An-nafsu al-lawwama, the self-reproaching soul. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, by the way, rahimahullah, he said, the first one is a good. May Allah make us from them, ameen. Nafsul mutma'inna. The second one could be for good and could be for evil. For good, the Shaykh he mentioned, if a person did something haram, fall short, was negligent, then his nafs will say to him, why you do this, man? It's not good. You know you're not supposed to talk like that. You know you're supposed to be in the masjid instead of doing this. You know you cannot be doing this. But also, that nafs could reprimand the person who's doing good too. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Person is doing good, like, why you do good? Like, for example, somebody give charity, and it's like, why you the only one give charity? A lot of people here, nobody give anything. See? So you don't listen to that one, that side. All right? Sometimes, just because you live in America, and then you're a teenager, and you be nice to your parents, your father, you come to your father and say, I want to do this. He said, La, I want you to stay home. And he say, okay. But they'll never say, hey, you're in America, man, free country, brother. You're not supposed to listen to your father. You're 18 now and still listen to your father? That's bad. No, you should say to your nafs, no, that's bad. You bad. I'm a Muslim. 18, 21 doesn't apply on me. This is my father, this is my mother. I want to go to the Jannah, I have to be nice to these two. Because the Prophet ﷺ says, if your parents are alive, you have 2 gates open to the Jannah. Easy. If one of them die, 1 gate is closed. So now you look at your parents. They still alive? Meaning that it's easy for you to get the Jannah. How? Be nice, be kind, be gentle, be easy. Talk to them in the nicest way. Don't look at them in the eye. Don't raise your any eyebrow, a matter of fact. Be nice. They tell you to do something, do it. At least if it's haram, then you still talk to them nicely until I can't do this because it's not pleasing to Allah. Yes, you're my father, you're my mother, but I'm supposed to please Allah first. And that's not good for you to tell me to do something like that. Okay? Like a girl, for example, her parents, they Muslim, but they don't understand no sunnah, no nothing. She put on a khimar, they said, take off that khimar. Never leave the house with the khimar on. She obeyed them or not? She don't obey them. She cursed them out? No, she don't curse them. Because they just don't know. If she obeyed them, it's not good for her and not good for them. But if she disobeyed them, it's good for her and good for them too. وهكذا بارك الله فيكم. Now, النفس الأمارة بالسوء. The third type of nafs is النفس الأمارة بالسوء. The soul which commands with evil. والعياذ بالله. May Allah protect us from that. The Shaykh said it is that which encourages the person to do the prohibited acts and to commit sins. Usually it's not always somebody pull you and drag you to commit a sin. That's not, is it like that? Usually we do those things voluntarily, ourselves, right or wrong. We choose to disobey Allah. Aina. And may Allah protect us. It drives him to places of evil and areas of lewdness. It pushes him to commit atrocities and despicable acts. As has come within Surah Yusuf. قالت وما أبرئ نفسي إن النفس لأمارة بالسوء إلا ما رحم ربي. The wife of the Aziz, that she tried to seduce Yusuf alayhi salam, and you know in the story of Yusuf in the Quran how he refused. He didn't want to fall to fahisha with that very powerful woman with status, but he chose taqwa of Allah, and he was wrong, and they put him in jail for years. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewarded him with a great reward. هكذا. But after that, what she said? She said, and I free not myself from the blame. Verily the soul drives toward evil, except when my Lord bestows His mercy upon whom He wills. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestow His mercy upon us and save us from the wickedness within our own selves. Then the Shaykh said these 3 descriptions for the soul are in reality the states connected to the soul. Due to this, these states alternate and change in accordance with the things which come in contact with the soul. He said perhaps all of these 3 descriptions exist with a person in one day. Look how it is, in one day, in accordance with the condition of the soul. The people of knowledge have given examples for this soul, which clarifies its condition with the person in order to make it easy to fathom for the Muslim, so that he or she may strive thereafter to rectify and purify it. And then he said, I will suffice, the Shaykh says, he said, I will suffice here with two examples by two eminent Imams. The first example, it was mentioned by Imam al-Ajurri rahimahullah. Al-Imam al-Ajurri rahimahullah within the book Adab al-Nufus. Adab al-Nufus. He said, I will mention an example for you, the affair of which is not hidden from you, if Allah wills. He says, know that the example of the soul is like that of a beautiful cloth, or colt, young male horse. Colt is like the name of a young horse. He says, one who looks at it is impressed by its beauty and its splendor, right? You've seen a nice small horse before? You've seen it, right? It's a beautiful, man, Allah. When you look at the horse, it's a beautiful creature, right? A horse. Something magnificent and beautiful. But go look at the little horse. They're so cute and so nice. And you're, oh, look at that. Wow. That's true. Okay? He says, the people who have insight into its affairs say, it cannot be benefited from until it is trained in a goodly manner and disciplined well. Then it can be benefited from and used for pursuit and flight. And the rider will appreciate its discipline and training. However, if it is not disciplined, its beauty and splendor will be of no benefit, and its rider will not praise its result when he needs it, right? You cannot ride a wild horse. What do they call a Mustang?
Yes.
Yeah. Beautiful horses. Get close to it, you ain't get nowhere. You're not going to use it for nothing. Just because something is beautiful, yes, it's beautiful, but can you benefit from it? Can it benefit you? Likewise, alhamdulillah, we look like Muslims, we adore us, we look like a Muslim, you smell like a Muslim. But what about the inside? What about the heart, the condition of the heart, the condition of the soul? That's important as well. Now, your appearance should be in accordance with the teaching of Islam. For men and for women. You should look and dress in accordance to what's pleasing to Allah. But that's one part. A better part and more important than that is the condition of the heart and the soul. The inner, clothing, if you want to use that term. The clothing of the heart. A lot of people, they fully covered outside but naked in the heart. No taqwa, no good manners, nothing. So Allah sallallahu alayhi. Now, Al-Ajurri continues, he said, if the owner of this cult accepts the advice of the people of advice and insight, he will know that this is a correct statement, and he will take it to a trainer so that it can be trained. Because a trained horse is not like the one who is not trained. Have value and benefits and the like. Moreover, the trainer should only be one who is knowledgeable and proficient in training, and he has patience in that which he has from knowledge and training. If he has this along with the training and his sincere work, the person will benefit from the steed trained by such a person. Oh, this is a profound example. That's why if he wants to benefit from our youth, then they have to be trained. And who will train them? The people of knowledge, and they have patience. It's not going to be easy to teach children, teach youth, teenagers, and how to be a good person and righteous person. It's going to take some time and sacrifice, and it's not easy. Look at those. We give an example, a ball player, for example, basketball or football. They're good, right? But how they get there? Ask them. Long years of sacrifice and hard training. A lot of them give up training. They can't even train. Too much. But those who stick with it because they keep their eyes on a prize. I gotta go. I know climbing that mountain, I'm not gonna be for everybody, but I'm gonna try to do my best to get there, right? Because the prize where? Is halfway? In a marathon, who get the prize? The one who finished it? Or the one who finished it top? Not everybody who finished the marathon get a prize. Do they give a prize for a half? If you quit at halfway, here is your trophy. They don't. Quitters, nobody write nothing about them. The spotlight is on the winners, right? Well, alhamdulillah, in Islam, Allah didn't say, okay, all of you pray, fast, do, but it's only 3 people going to be in Jannah. Allah didn't say that. Just you can make it, man. Look, in a marathon, they said, we give prize to the first 3 people. That's it. First prize, second prize, third prize. What about the 4th? Yeah, next time come 3rd. That's how they do it in the Olympics, for example, right? They have gold, silver, and bronze. That's why they say the 4th position is the worst position, man. In Islam, you don't have to worry about no 4th position or just be a good Muslim, alhamdulillah. You will make it, bi'idhnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Al-Ajuri rahimahullah wa ta'ala continue by saying, if the trainer does not understand how to train a horse and does not know how to discipline horses, he will corrupt this colt, this little horse, and wear himself out, and the rider will not be pleased with the results. Likewise, this is a very example. Those amongst us have children, you want your children to be righteous and grow up to be good Muslims, mashallah. Don't put them, you gotta put them with the teachers and the schools and the masajid of Ahlul Sunnah. Don't put them with the Hizbis, Mubtadi'ah. Because they have a school, Muslim, so-called Muslim school. But that Muslim school is based on that. Who's teaching them? People of Sunnah, Ikhwanis, or who? Just because they say, oh, Muslim school, and they got good breakfast, good lunch. They don't give them breakfast, good lunch. No. You got to choose the right school. They're going to teach your children the right thing. Otherwise, those children, they grow up learning a little bit here and there, but they learn a lot of evil. And you're not going to be able to benefit from them, and they're not going to be able to benefit themselves, and they're going to become a burden on their families and the society and everybody. He said, if the trainer has understanding of training and disciplining horses, however, despite his understanding of this, he is not patient with the difficulty of training, he wants things to be easy for himself, and he is negligent regarding that which is binding upon him, from sincerity in the training, he will corrupt this colt and be mean to it. SubhanAllah. Thus, it will not be suitable for pursuit or flight. So it will have a good look, but no substance. SubhanAllah. Likewise, you're a manager. Just because you know, does not make you a good manager. Now you know, mashallah, something that other people don't know. But how are you going to train others, you see? Training doesn't, yes, it requires knowledge, but it requires a whole lot of other things. Patience, being nice, being sincere, being patient with the people. Always give them what's good for them, not what's good for you. Work on their levels. Those who they know good, give them. Those who don't know, go down to their level and try to help them so they can go up and climb, inshallah ta'ala. He said, if its owner is the trainer himself, if the owner of that small horse is the owner himself, he will regret his relaxation on a day upon which regret will be of no benefit. He will look at someone who is in pursuit of something and catches that which he is pursuing. And when it is time for them to take flight, they swiftly do so and are safe. Yet he will pursue something and not catch that which he is in pursuit of. And he will take flight from something, but he will not be safe. All of this is due to his laxity and his lack of patience, despite his understanding of this affair. Amen. Then he will blame and censored himself, saying, why were you negligent? Why were you negligent? Why did you fall short? Due to my scanty amount of patience, everything which I dislike has come to me, and Allah's aid is sought. Then he says, be intelligent. May Allah have mercy upon you, and know this example and understand it, and you will be successful and safe. He said, in this first example, Shaykh Abdul Razzaq is giving us a summary. He said, in this first example, Al-Imam Al-Ajurri rahimahullah ta'ala clarifies the condition of the soul, and that it is like a small horse, a colt, which is in need of training and patience in doing so. And that one must be upon knowledge regarding the affairs that will rectify and purify the soul. And that if the person is negligent regarding this knowledge and this training, he will have the utmost regrets at the end of this journey. So it's not going to happen. It's not a piece of cake like some people think. Now you got to do some work. It's a struggle. You got to strive. And as long as one of us is struggling, you're rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing is put in waste. You're always winning when you deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're struggling, say, look, I'm struggling. I need help. Where do you find the help? Through knowledge. Read the book of Allah. Attend the classes, the prayers. Be with the people who they trying to be. They have the same direction. They have the same goal, the same aim. These are the people you want to be with, inshallah ta'ala. The second example, he said, this was mentioned by Imam Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah. He said, the soul is like a large, difficult mountain upon the path that leads to Allah Azza wa Jalla. For every traveler, there is no path except by way of this mountain. There is no way. You got to go through this mountain. So he must come to it. However, from them there is he who struggles upon it, and from them, meaning the people, there is he for whom it is easy. May Allah make us from those that is easy for. And it is easy for the one whom Allah makes it easy for. Within the mountain, there are valleys and trails, mountain passes and ravines, pickles and thorns, and twining bushes and shrubs. So all of these difficulties and obstacles. There are also robbers who block the pathways for those who traverse upon it, especially those who do so at night, traveling at nightfall. If they do not have the readiness of Iman, faith, and the lanterns of certainty, which burn by way of the oil of humility, subhanAllah. Indeed, if they lack these things, these hindrances will take hold of them, and the impediments will obstruct them and stand between them and their journey. They're not going to make it, and otherwise they aren't going to make it. Some they're going to cry and make you turn and go back. Likewise, you're on a path to Jannah. It's not going to be smooth all the way. Yes, the road, the path may be bumpy sometimes. The journey may be long. You may have to take a U-turn here or D-turn over here. You're going to slow down sometimes because this is how it is. You're facing obstacles. But as long as you're like, look, these obstacles, they are not going to put me down. I got to make it the other side of the mountain. Because that's where I am supposed to be. That's where I'm going to get the reward. Aina. But this is what we need to learn, ya ikhwan, and attend the classes of knowledge. And we're supposed to help each other and remind one another, make dua for one another. Aina and barakallahu fikum. Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah says, most of the travelers who travel through this mountain are not able to overcome and defy its obstacles. SubhanAllah. Shaitan is at the top of the mountain. Look, after all these obstacles, And you're waiting, shaitan waiting for you. Subhanallah, man. There's no mercy upon you. He says most of the travelers who travel through this mountain are not able to overcome and defy its obstacles. Shaitan is at the top of the mountain, meaning its highest point, warning the people against climbing and elevating upon it. He just tells some people, hey, don't even try, man. Just go home. Don't try. No. There is something good if you climb. As long as you climb and you're upon good, Shaitan is going to say, no, just go back, man. Now, don't be discouraged. And also, whether by warning the people against climbing and elevating upon it, frightening them from doing so, so the difficulty of the climb is combined with the sitting of this frightener at its highest point, along with the weakness of the resolve and the intention of the traveler, which results in cessation of travel, make an end for this journey. Meaning in our terms, we quit. Don't be a quitter, man. Don't quit. Sometimes you fail and you get up. You stumble and you dust yourself off and get up and keep going. The ride is not going to be smooth all the way. No, something's going to slow you down, you slow down with it. But then when you have a room to speed up, take advantage of that. Amen. He said, the safe one is he whom Allah makes safe. May Allah make us from them. Ameen. He said, every time the traveler climbs the mountain, the cry of the hinderer, his warning, an attempt to frighten, intensifies. The closer you get, the more it's going to become difficult for you. And the shaitan is going to try his best to throw anything at you. If the person climbs the mountain, and I'm going to give you an example. Like some they have some games for children, and even for adults, right? And you have to go through some obstacles. I don't know what they call those games. I don't know. You may find the name right now. Don't come to mind. They have a like series and stages of obstacles. One of them, the more you go further in the game, the hardest it gets.
Obstacle course.
Obstacle course. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. They have them, for example, walk on something, and if you lose your steps, you fall in the water. If you fall in the water, you get what? Wet. And if you get wet, you mean what? You lose. There you go. If you fall in the water, you gotta get wet, bro. Now, then after that, what they do? The ninja warriors? There you go. Maybe the American warriors? Chinese warriors, man. Yemeni warriors. Okay? But then, the more you get advanced in the game, the easier it gets or the worse it gets? The harder. Why? Because they don't want you to win easy. That's what it is about here. I'll just give you an example. Shaitan, the more you make progress, Allah's going to test you with certain things. Shaitan is going to be at you. He's going to aim on you. But you don't want to make shaitans please. You want to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You go through hardship so you can please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, he says, if the person climbs the mountain and reaches the top, all those things which frightened him are returned into safety. Look at those people who they go through all the problems and you made it. What they do? Right or wrong? They have a feeling of what? Joy. What else? Accomplishment. And all the spotlight on him. Is it on the person in the water? No. The hot spot. And who's going to make the news now on the first page? Huh? The one who won. The one who made it to the top and finish. But we, alhamdulillah, look. That's what the Sheikh says. If the person climbs the mountain and reaches the top, all those things which frightened him are returned into safety. And at that point, the journey becomes easy. the impediments in the path and the difficulty of the mountain passes are removed, and he sees the path to be wide and safe. By way of this mountain, he is taken to dwellings and springs, and upon it are signposts, and there are abodes that have been prepared for the honored guests of Ar-Rahman, Allah. Between the servant and happiness and success is the strength of resolve, a time of patience, courageousness of the soul, and firmness of the heart. And the bounty is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He gives it to whom He wills. And Allah is the owner of a tremendous bounty. Success doesn't mean sleep and just... It's not associated with negligence. You got to do some work. You got to do the right work. That's not just a lot of work. You have to know what to do, the right things, at the right time, at the right place. But you have to learn from the best trainers. Not anybody who claim and tell you, I get you there. No, he don't know how to get you there. So you have to be careful who you're dealing with. The Shaykh said this example also makes clear to us the state of the soul, and that it requires from the person what? Attention, treatment and healing. If one does not struggle against in the legislated method and be patient with this, then it will escape him and be lost. So once again, it comes to knowledge, ya ikhwan. It's very important, inshallah ta'ala, it comes to knowledge. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll stop here. This class will come to an end. Inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan, barakallahu feekum. What we're going to do, we're going to pray at the time, because we have to respect the time for the prayer. If you don't mind, after the salat, we will spend maybe 10-15 minutes to review together. You okay with that? And so we can listen to you, you can give us some benefits here, we share with each other, okay? Jazakumullah khairan, barakallahu feekum, wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Muhammad ala alihi, sahbihi wa sallam taslima.